Hi everybody, haven't done a video in a while. This is it's October 27th, Tuesday. Um, a couple things I was gonna sort of discuss today was some basic um, mind manipulations that let's say salesmen use on us, whatever, and we all kind of fall for them to a certain extent, but we also have to be careful of like how they use them in the media. Like we should be more aware of that media and also on radio, let's say radio too. um, but yeah, I want to kind of give you a couple examples of how a lot of people just don't realize, a lot of times we always try to put so much faith into our brains. We think, we can outthink things and things like that, but we got to remember that it's a biological computer, and it's only as kind of as good as its trainer. So its programmer, which is supposed to be us. But unfortunately, we get programmed by other people, including teachers or through religious beliefs or whatever. So that those are programs that are put into our biological computer that would sometimes we have to override and sort of outthink. And sometimes they don't make sense. They clash with each other. It's like almost two different programs, like freedom versus control, whatever. And it's like these programs, they're not making sense in your brain. So eventually, you try to understand it or make sense of it all. But I was kind of going to give you a kind of a quick example of how some of the mild techniques that are used on us, let alone the more advanced ones. But take for example, if you were going to go to your pet store and you're going to buy some food for your dog or cat, and there's a salesman there going. First of all, he's going to go, "Hey, how you doing there?" Right away, if someone's that friendly, they're trying to sell you something. But once you even get past that, what I'm saying is they're going to use like some really basic ones, like for instance, "Hey, this is the latest food that dogs and cats really love, and everybody that really loves their pets buy it. You do love your dog or your cat, right?" And you go, "Well, yeah, you got me there." And then they go, "So how many can I sign you up for?" And you go, "Well, yeah, I guess sure, I'll buy them." For someone that's young and naive and not realizing they're being played to a certain extent, that's just a mild, innocent way of showing how our minds can be tricked. Now, as you can imagine, the mainstream media, let alone whether it's through radio or TV or something, they know these techniques all too well and then some. So not only should they fluoridate us so we're more susceptible to it and things like that, but I'm just saying they know all the techniques. Now, someone that's older and have picked up on a lot of them, I can hear them, and it's like take for instance on a radio ad or TV ad, especially in the news thing or something. They'll say something like 200,000 people tested positive. It looks like we're all gonna die. Whatever. That's their narrative that they're trying to play, but they don't tell you anything positive. Like sort of like, hey, you know what? Uh, Hardly any of those tests that were positive were actually positive after all. They don't tell you that news, or they don't go. Come to think of it, the death rate from this scary virus is actually lower than a regular flu. Just wonder why we're panicking. I mean, they're not going to tell you that because they have an agenda, and so their narrative is to scare you. So again, I know I've talked about this before, but it falls in the line of the power of positive thinking. Is what in order to combat that, you basically have to not only stop listening to it. Like if you can throw your TV away, that'd be great. Just stop listening to it altogether. But or if you listen to it, say no. Just say no to stuff like, looks like we're in for a terrible, economic system. What if you say, what if we're not? What if I say no? What I'm not going to lose my job, or no, things are looking good, and what I'm just saying, say no to their narrative. So at least it'll cancel it out. Whatever they say you have to do, say no, I don't have to do. At least do that. So the problem is, as you can imagine, it's like if you're on a ship and and you need everybody to make the right decision in order to turn it to miss an iceberg or something. It's going to make it more difficult, because if a lot of people are falling for the narrative, like, oh, we're going to crash, looks like, if nobody's saying no, we're not, then yeah, you are going to crash. Then you say, see, we were right. Yeah, the problem is you didn't listen to the guys that said no, we're not going to crash. And besides, like I said, once all of us make that decision and someone goes over there and pulls the wheel, go, there you go, we missed it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But what I'm saying is, like, if everybody's saying something, and that's what mainstream media wants everybody to do, is like, oh my God, the news guy said we're all gonna die, and so that's what you're thinking now. But what I'm saying is, don't fall for that. Okay, for us, we've kind of picked up on that, and we're sort of getting past all that. So I almost want to say congratulations to you guys, because I know it's us people that are thinking like that are actually manifesting things in the physical way. So it is actually kind of working. What I mean is, like, take for instance, there was these 3 hurricanes that they were trying to send towards, Florida or whatever, as usual. Well, basically, everybody's saying, no, it's not a hurricane this year. What about turning it into a tropical storm? We basically shut it down 3 times in a row. Well, there's another one coming up. So all of us have to say again, no, it's not going to work. You got to stop doing this. So all of our power of positive thinking is working. Like, even for instance, here, with whether it's a mask mandate or the numbers, we're keeping them down. Our positive thoughts are actually working. So we just got to keep that up. So again, as you know, when you listen to the radio or TV or any ads, the people that are still in control, to a certain extent, we're taking it back, are still playing their mind manipulation games again, as usual. For example, they're saying, as soon as the early polls started, they're like, oh, looks like Biden's winning like crazy. This is like going to be such a slam dunk for Biden, whatever. That's, because again, like I said, what they're doing is they're using mind control by saying they're setting the narrative. Now, all the gullible people will fall for that. Whereas, guess what? Us educated people, or people that actually are more aware, which is getting more and more of them out there, we're going, no, he's not. Actually, Trump is going to totally kick butt. So by us saying that is also manifesting it too. So it's very similar to, like they did in Star Wars, like a Jedi mind trick. It's almost like, to the weak-minded people, you can say, we don't need masks. This is not the virus you're looking for. We could do that, or we could do it the other way. We could say, yes, you need a mask, or whatever. It's, like I said, it's a really simple form of mind control, and they're using more complicated stuff than that. So we just can't fall for it, is what I'm saying. Just be strong when it comes to that, because we are manifesting the future. And I'll give you an example of that and I know I've touched on this before, but what I'm saying is everything starts out in our minds. We don't realize how strong our minds really are. We put too much faith in them. We think we can think our way out of problems a lot of times, or whatever. But you gotta remember, this is just a biological computer that is basically trained or given information over our lifetime. So, and that's why a lot of times we have conflicting information too, because, for instance, I'll get a message from one teacher that says we should do something one way, and I'll get another message from another teacher saying there's this way of doing it. So I have to try to figure out which is truth and which is lie. Well, not a lie, but sometimes there's just even different perspectives. So anyway, we have a lot of power in our minds. For instance, if I wake up in the morning, I say, you know what, today I'm going to build that workbench. I'm putting it off for a year. I'm going to go to the garage and I'm going to build it. Well, it starts off as a thought, and then it gets manifested into something physical. So then I physically follow through with that. By the end of the day, I've got my workbench. I built it. And so at the same time, I can say, no, I'm not going to build that workbench today. I'm just going to put that off for another year. So come out to the garage. It's not built. It's not there. Same thing. So we have power to manifest things not only from our brain to physical manifestations. That's what we do all the time. And we even get other people to do it. Like if I'm an employer, I could say, today we're going to fix that car. So then I come and I tell my employees, yeah, okay, you got to make sure that transmission is done today, whatever. And so we even have power over other people to manifest physical things too. So what I'm getting at is it all starts off with is a thought, and then we can follow through with that thought. So thoughts are a lot more important than we realize. So staying positive and saying yes, Trump is going to win and things like that. If you think it doesn't help, it really does help. And not only that, but even myself, I think so far ahead a lot of times, at least a minimum of 1 year ahead, let alone 5 years ahead. So for me lately, what I've been thinking about is more of, for instance, next year when I'm at a convention or a car show and I'm going to hang out with a bunch of people, we're going to be laughing. Like in my mind, I'm thinking this. We're going to be laughing about, boys, remember when Trump kicked butt in 2020 and how he won, and now the economy is really picking up and everything. I'm manifesting that in my mind. I'm visioning it already. So we all have to do that to create this reality. So that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm not only asking you guys to help participate in this, but I also want to say thanks, because I think you guys are really getting it, and we're going to create a really, really awesome new future. We just got to stay positive and stay away from all those really simple mind tricks, and we'll get past this, and it's going to turn out awesome. Okay, so anyway, that's a simple message for Tuesday. I'll probably make another video as things come up probably later this week. So have a good week, and just, like I said, manifest positive. Like, we're going to win. We're totally going to win. Okay, bye.